Now let's discuss some building blocks of filmmaking when it comes to pre-production. The first step to understand storyboard and to know how to do storyboard is getting to know the building blocks of filmmaking. Let's start with the smallest block, frame. For the understanding of the frame, we have to break it further and define FPS. Now what does FPS stands for? It's called frames per second. One of the most common frame rate for films is 24 frames per second or 24 FPS, which means that we are watching 24 frames or photos in 1 second. The frame can be defined as a single image of a film, whereas a shot is a collection of frames between two cuts. The term cut means joints between the shots. Shot can also be defined as a continuous camera take. At times, a single shot can be really long. There have been films which have been shot continuously as a one take. For example, Victoria 2015, which was one take short film, uninterrupted, with a small cast and crew in Berlin. The shooting began at 4:30 a.m. and ended around 7 a.m. Similarly, the 111 episode, The Inheritance of CID, a popular television series in India, is a suspense drama which holds a Guinness Book World Record for the longest single shot for TV. The entire episode, which is 111 minutes long, was shot as a one continuous take. Shot can be further divided into types based on the size of the subject in the frame. Now, let's discuss these shot types, starting from the widest angle, extreme long shot or ELS, or long shot, LS. Covers a vast area of camera as it's a long distance from the character to the background or to the camera. ELS or LS shot establishes the location of the event. Then you have full shot, where a character is visible from head to toe. The whole subject is in the frame. The next shot is MS or the medium shot, where half of the body is in the frame from waist up. This is an ideal shot for a conversation scene like we are in, where gestures and hand movements are visible too. As we go closer to the character, the next shot in line is called CU or a close-up shot. This shot frames the head of the hand of a person. Close-up is an excellent way to engage an audience emotionally to the character. This shot emphasizes on the subject rather than the background and subject both. Next shot is ECU or extreme close-up, where a part of the character is framed, such as eyes, hands, foot, etc. This shot establishes the intimate relationship with the subject. POV or point of view shot is an angle that shows what a character is looking at, as in the first person. It establishes a shot of what character is looking at and helps direct the audience's attention to it. A shot can also be classified based on the number of people in the frames. Single shot, this is a shot with only one character in the frame. Two shot, we see two characters in frame and each are given equal importance. OTS or over the shoulder shot is shot where there are two people but only one is visible properly and the other character's shoulder is partially visible. Then there's a group shot with 3 or more people in a frame. The next building block is scene. The scene is a combination of several shots with the unity of time and place. The scene is the first building blocks which is narratively complete. There's a catch, though a long shot, as discussed previously, can be narratively complete and can be considered a scene. A series of scenes connected through a familiar storyline is a sequence. These scenes can't be random. First, they should be connected through a common storyline. A sequence can occur in a single setting, place, or multiple setting. Then comes act. An act consists of several sequences unified with a common plot. Here, we should refer to the classic three-act structure: exposition, main conflict, or climax and resolution, or the outcome. Next, we will be discussing about camera movement. Zoom. For zooming in or zooming out, a camera person has to change the focal length of the lens to make the character appear closer or away in the frame. A storyboard panel, a zoom is shown by drawing a rectangular or square inside the frame with arrows on four corners pointing inwards or outwards to show zoom in or zoom out, respectively. If a camera moves away or towards the subject, then it's called a dolly. These names come from the dolly tracks which were used in olden times to move a heavy camera rig closer or away from the subject. In the storyboard panel, this movement is shown with two thick arrows pointing inwards or outwards, generally placed in the middle of the edges of the panel. Next, we will be discussing about trucking. Trucking is similar to dollying, but it differs in the way camera moves. In truck, camera moves from left to right or right to left. This should not be confused with pan, where the camera is stationary and it moves from left to right or right to left. Now, let's come to the basic camera angles. Camera angles can be divided into subjective and objective camera angles. In a subjective camera angle, audience is involved directly with the character in the scene. Characters can look straight into the camera in a subjective angle like we are doing right now. Whereas in an object camera angle, audience feels like a eavesdropping or acts as an unseen observer. The objective camera can also be stated as impersonal. The subject has to act as they are not aware that a camera is present. It often happens during filming that subject looks into the camera. In that case, the shot is concerned ruined and had to be reshot. Once the camera movement and shot framing are locked, you can add more dynamism to your shot by placing the camera at an angle about your subject to convey various feelings such as fear, disorientation, or empathy. One of the most neutral camera angles is the eye level shot, where the camera points at the same level as the subject's face. This helps to maintain objectivity and can be used for interviews. A low camera angle is used to make your subject appear larger than life. As the camera looks up towards the character, it works out great to portray power, dominance, and authority. A high camera angle does the exact opposite by portraying your subject as an inferior, weak, smaller, or vulnerable character. A Dutch angle is when the camera is tilted horizontal and can be used to convey disorientation. It portrays that something is wrong. For example, it can be used to show a character who got hit by a car and stumbling and falling.